Hey guys, how's it going? Kermode here with a different video today. I'm actually going to be reviewing the Audeze LCD MX4 headphones that I've been wearing in my past several videos. Audeze sponsored the past 10 or so videos of mine, and they provided me with this pair of headphones for those videos, as well as the promise that I would do a proper and honest review. So disregard the fact that they were my sponsor in this video. I'm going to give you my totally unbiased opinion, and I'm just going to tell you what I actually think of this product. So I actually want to start with the meat of it, and before we go into things like the look, the comfort, and the price, I actually just want to dive straight into the sound, because that's really all that matters at the end of the day. Now, right before I do get into the sound though, I do want to tell you why I got these headphones. And the reason I reached out to them and I wanted a pair of these headphones and we came up with this sponsorship was I recently moved into an apartment. And when I did, I was no longer able to use my referencing monitors, my Atom A7Xs, the way I used to. A, the room's completely different shape. B, I'm sharing the room with my partner. I'm sure many of you guys have seen the things on the wall. This isn't just my studio anymore, so I wasn't able to add soundproofing. So I really needed a solution. I needed something consistent. I needed something that would be colored by the room. And that's why, after a ton of research, I landed on these beauties. So for one, the sound is going to be consistent, unlike a monitor, which is colored by the room you're in and is affected anytime you move. And I'm a young person, I move quite a bit. This just gives me a level of consistency that I can't really achieve with speakers. Not only that, but I can take these with me anywhere I want to go, and I have my immaculate monitoring system anywhere I go. So have I retired my speakers? Almost entirely at this point, yes. Just because I really do think the quality of them, based off the coloring of my room, just isn't the same as these. So let's talk about the actual sound though. So first of all, they're open back headphones, which means you aren't going to achieve standing waves. You aren't going to have like a natural comb filter or frequency cancellation that comes with certain headphones. But I mean, obviously one big problem with headphones is you don't get natural crosstalk that you do with speakers, where the signal from one speaker crosses with the other one in the air and combines. That is always going to be a negative of headphones, just something to be aware. And you do get this kind of super hyper dry sound because you don't have sound bouncing around in the room. Personally, I don't mind that, and personally I like the super dry right up against your ear type of sound. Now, that being said, with them being headphones, you don't completely get that right up against your ear sound that you do with most other headphones. This has an absolutely beautiful sound stage. The way it recreates sound three-dimensionally is something I haven't experienced with a headphone. My ability to hear depth, my ability to hear specific details in everything I do with these is just absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to put them back on for a second while I talk about them, just so I'm not waving them around for you guys. Now, another really big bonus of these is the transient definition. It has absolutely phenomenal transient definition. I've been able to tame and accentuate and control transients in a way I just have not been able to do previously. Now, a big thing, one of the most important things with headphones is the frequency response. Is it flat? Are you getting this beautiful frequency response? And I would argue you don't get a perfectly flat frequency response. However, I think it's to its benefit. What I mean by that is it has a really defined low end. For a headphone, the low end on this is immaculate. On my speakers, I couldn't hear sub. I'd always have to reference on a sub pack or my car, or using analyzers to really get the sub. This thing has immaculate low end definition, and for someone like myself who's doing dubstep and bass music, I couldn't ask for anything better. Now, it does feel like there's a bit of kind of a shelf or a roll off on the highs. The highs aren't as loud as everything else, so I wouldn't say they're flat in that regard, but that is actually, in my opinion, to its benefit. And the reason I say that is because I am working on these things for hours and hours and hours at a time, and I have yet to hit ear fatigue even once. And trust me, on other sets of headphones, 100% you achieve ear fatigue. So it doesn't quite have a perfectly flat response, in my opinion, but it just makes up for it in the clarity and definition of the soundstage, the depth, the transients, your ability to hear micro details that I just couldn't really perceive before, like slight differences in distortion. How much you can actually hear that on these is bonkers. So since getting them, and I've had these for about a month or two now, I've been using them pretty much nonstop. I've mixed 2 of my own EPs on it. I've mixed an album for a client. I've mixed 2 EPs for a client, and I've written an EP for a client, all on these headphones in the past 2 months. And the quality of my work has definitely seen improvements. So, in terms of the sound, I really do think it is phenomenal. I haven't ever heard anything like this. And, some of you might ask, well, how does it compare to the models below it? I haven't tested the models below it, although I do have a colleague, I don't know if I should say his name, but he's an Ableton certified trainer who has these, and he tested out the other ones, and he just said that going to this level really just pushes you to this next degree of detail in terms of, the definition in the highs, the clarity and the depth of field. It's just immaculate. So in terms of the sound, I really don't have much else to say. It is just fucking awesome. I don't know what else to say. So now let's talk about the comfort and the look. As you can tell, these things are huge. They are bulky. Definitely not a fashion statement by any sense, but that's not what these are. These are working headphones. So I'm not really too concerned at how bulky they are, but I actually think they look kind of cool. They're built like tanks. They've got this crazy like hard carbon fiber band over the top, strong metal pegs for latching the different head sizes on there. And overall, I think it looks pretty cool. It's got these amazing leather pads, and these things are just so comfortable. Once again, I'm using these for hours and hours and hours and hours on end, and I really just don't get uncomfortable. They fit perfectly over your ear. Your ear isn't getting squished down. The way the carbon fiber band mixed with the leather supports it on your head, you don't really get pain up here. I've gotten pain from bands on my headphones for long periods of time. The only thing is, I see a lot of people online when I was looking at reviews before getting these saying they're built like tanks. I personally get a sense that they're a little fragile. Like, you're kind of working with a small little plastic bar here and this small little metal peg, and I'm afraid that one day these would break or get damaged from that, although I can't say that is the case. So far it's been made so well, but maybe this is just a weird psychological thing, but I feel this need to like treat this like a baby or something. Like I put it down very gently, and I actually have a headphone stand for it where I don't always want to put it in its case, which we will get to in just a second, the hard case. So sometimes I put it on a rest, so I'm not putting it down on the table. But it feels pretty well made. I mean, really well made, but sometimes a little fragile. Like, these cables to me sometimes feel a little fragile, and I'm always nervous when I see them pressing against the table. But they work really well. They're so comfy, and I mean, they are built pretty damn well, I gotta say. They're built really nicely, and they're so comfortable. They feel like clouds on your head, and I actually like it. They're kind of heavy. There's a bit of weight to it on your head, but it doesn't ever hurt from the weight. So that actually leads into the next part, which is talking about the hard case it comes with. So it comes with this big, bulky, beautiful hard case. I put a sticker on it. It doesn't come with this sticker, and this thing is built like a tank. So if you are traveling with it, the headphones fit in nicely and they're perfectly protected. Like, once the headphones are in here, I feel like I could throw it off the side of a car and they'd be okay. Obviously that's hyperbole, but it does come with this really nice hard plastic case. So, if I'm not using it for a day or two, I put it in the case so, dust doesn't build up on it. But if I'm away for just a few hours, then I usually put it on like a headphone stand, and I feel pretty fine about it. But you definitely want to be using the case because these things are expensive, which leads me into the last part of this review, the price. These things are pricey. They are $3,000 US, and I'm a Canadian, so that converts quite high, plus tax, plus shipping. You know, these things get up there, that's for sure. Now, do I think it's worth the price? That's a really good question, and my answer that I've kind of come up with in my head after having these for so long is the price is worth it if you feel you've hit a point in your career where this is the type of tool that you need. What do I mean by that? So I myself, I do mixing, I do mastering, I'm constantly putting out music. I'm always having to hear immaculate detail in audio. So much so that I kind of hit a wall with my Atom A7Xs where I wasn't getting the quality that I wanted out of my mixes. On top of that, I already felt like I had a lot of the software I needed. Obviously not everything, but I had a lot of good software. And I had money coming in from my work. I wasn't scraping by. I wasn't this new sort of mixing engineer without any sort of income. There was money coming in here. So me investing into these headphones, and I should say I did invest a little bit. These weren't completely gifted to me for free. Investing money in these headphones felt like an investment that I would get back because I would do better work and therefore get more clients, charge more because I have better tools, etc. And they really did affect my mixes. I invested this money and I do feel like my mixes and my masters are better. Now, for someone that still doesn't have nice monitors or has a nice studio that they can soundproof, isn't traveling all the time, this may not be the investment for you. You may be better off getting a set of monitors if you're, a younger to new producer, or if you have a nice studio space, possibly getting monitors because you can acoustically treat it and get the speakers working the way you want. These, for me, were just so perfect in my life because my room is colored. I have a partner in the house, I have a dog that makes sound, and this was my ability to always have the exact same frame of reference no matter what's going on in my life. Personally, at this point, I would have definitely picked them over my Atoms, but again, I don't know if that is for everyone. Now, I should say they do have a payment plan for this, so there is a way you can do this without just spending money up front for them. But again, I really think this is for people that need this tool. This is for experienced audio engineers, experienced mixing engineers who really want that next level of immaculate sound. If you're a novice producer, even an intermediate producer, even an advanced one, you can definitely achieve a good mix without these, but this allows you to achieve just an absolutely beautiful, rich mix. So all in all, I think these headphones are really good, but I don't necessarily think they're worth the price for everyone. This is for experienced mixing and mastering engineers or for producers that already feel quite technically skilled. They feel like they have all the right software and they feel like they want another frame of reference instead of speakers, or they don't have a situation where speakers pertains to them. So there we go. That's my totally honest Audeze LCD MX4 review. I really do love these things. I've been saying that in the beginning of my videos. None of those sponsorship things were scripted. They didn't ask me to ever say anything specific with that sponsorship. I've actually just been giving my honest opinion. These things are awesome. They've improved my music. I think they're worth it for the right person. So I hope this, helps you decide if you want to get this type of tool. I think it's a really amazing, piece of gear. I can't believe how good they are for headphones. And there we go. Those are the Audeze LCD MX4s. I'm Kermode. If you guys want to check these out, I'm going to leave a link to them in the description of this video. And I'll be back soon with another video. Thanks again, guys. Peace.